On June 14, 2024, Luo Qiang, the vice governor of Guizhou Province, described the province's achievements at a press conference held by the State Council's Information Office. After winning the battle against poverty in Guizhou, the bottom line is not to return to poverty on a large scale. We monitored and helped the poverty-stricken population and implemented the 3-year action to increase the income of residents. By the end of last year, the population in Guizhou, with an annual per capita net income of less than 10,000 yuan, had basically realized dynamic zero. In other words, the vice governor is announcing to the public that by the end of 2023, Guizhou's annual per capita net income of less than $1,400 in the population has realized dynamic zero. Does the term dynamic zero sound familiar? The term was widely used by officials to describe the complete elimination of the COVID-19 virus during China's 3-year epidemic from 2020 to 2022. This dynamic zero policy has artificially created a massive humanitarian disaster. This is why Chinese netizens on the X platform have asked, what does it mean to dynamically clear the population of poverty? Does it mean that they should be gathered and eliminated by fire? The vice governor also said, now Guizhou villages are getting better and better. The farmer's daily life is no longer the traditional toil in the field. Village Super and Village BA are a vivid depiction of the new lifestyle of the farmers in Guizhou. Now, more and more people in the city yearn for the rural areas, yearn for the countryside lifestyle. China's official media also heavily publicized the vice governor's announcement. Listening to this, it seems as if the people of Guizhou are already living happily ever after. But the people of Guizhou clearly don't think so. Residents commented, "Oh, who is talking nonsense? Go to the mountains of Guizhou to see for yourself. You will know what a shameless lie it is." One person questioned, there are still many peasants in Guizhou Province who are too old to work, so how do they earn tens of thousands of yuan a year? Weibo users replied, alleviate poverty on paper. Is that how poverty is cleared, achieving dynamic zero? So, why does Guizhou Province need to declare that it has achieved poverty dynamic zero? It has to do with the so-called major political task set by the Communist Party leader Xi Jinping in 2015. That is the Poverty Alleviation Offensive Campaign. On February 25, 2021, Xi Jinping held a press conference to announce that the country's poverty alleviation campaign had achieved a comprehensive victory, with 98.99 million rural poor being lifted out of poverty according to the current standards. It means that the Chinese people are no longer poor. At the end of 2020, Guizhou, China's poverty-stricken province, also announced in a high profile that the province had achieved the goal of poverty eradication. But is it true that the Chinese people are no longer poor? Half a year before Xi Jinping announced that all Chinese were out of poverty, that is, in May 2020, former Chinese Premier Luo Qiang said that 600 million Chinese had a monthly income of less than 1,000 yuan, or less than $140.
有6亿人每个月的收入也就是1000元，1000元，在一个中等城市可能。
Although officials claim that the province was already out of poverty as early as the end of 2020, the vice governor insisted that people in Guizhou had achieved a per capita income of more than 10,000 yuan by the end of 2023. On April 24, 2024, Chinese Premier Luo Qiang, while conducting a research trip to Guizhou, had instructed to firmly hold the bottom line of not returning to poverty on a large scale. The outside world believes that this statement indicates that the poverty problem in Guizhou is still very serious. Especially at the beginning of 2020, the story of a poor university student in Guizhou Province, Luo Qiang, went viral on the web in China. It has attracted a lot of attention to Guizhou's poverty issue. The girl looked abnormally short and thin. Her name was Luo Qiang, a college student 24 years old at the beginning of 2020. Both of her parents passed away. After her father was gone in 2014, she and her mentally ill brother lived on a meager monthly subsidy of 300 yuan for low-income households. To save money, she ate nothing but chili peppers mixed with plain rice for 5 years. It led to malnutrition and destroyed her health. Her eyebrows and hair fell out. When she was 23 years old, she was only 1.35 meters tall and weighed 21 kilograms. In October 2023, she was hospitalized for a heart valve injury. The China Youth Charity Foundation 9958 platform collected 1 million yuan on her behalf, claiming that the funds would be used for her medical treatment. On January 13, 2020, the girl passed away. The platform only transferred 20,000 to the hospital and deducted 60,000 for cost expenses. Regarding why the rest of the money was not transferred to the girl, the charity platform said that the money was earmarked for surgery and recovery, but the doctor required that she could only have surgery if she weighed 30 kilograms. At the time of her death, she didn't weigh 30 kilograms. In this regard, a US-based commentator made the following comment to the overseas Chinese media. The money could have been used to seek better treatment, solve her nutritional absorption problems, get her body into a condition suitable for surgery, etc. If they wanted to save this person's life, there were a lot of things they could have done, but they didn't do them. So, when they initiated crowdfunding on her behalf, was it to save the child's life, to do charity work for the sake of charity, or to aim at the 6% handling fee? Guizhou is one of the poorest provinces in China. Since the beginning of 2018, several Guizhou officials have been arrested for stealing poverty alleviation funds. Just the day before Luo Qiang's death on January 12, 2020, Chinese media exposed that Wang Xiaoguang, the former vice governor of Guizhou Province, was arrested for accepting bribes and embezzling nearly 170 million yuan, or about 24 million in illegal proceeds. Astonishingly, one of the rooms in his residence was filled with more than 4,000 bottles of Muay Thai, the most prestigious liquor brand in China, estimated to cost several million yuan. To destroy the evidence, Wang poured much of the liquor down the drain. On November 23, 2020, the Guizhou provincial government announced that the last 9 counties in the province had been lifted out of the poverty line, marking the achievement of the 2020 goal of getting rid of poverty across China. But what is the actual situation? Radio Free Asia interviewed a local official, Mr. Liu, in the following days. He explained that their local schools had a large number of the hardest-pressed families and their young children. Since the beginning of the 2020s, their situation has become even more difficult. A local village primary school has 47 students, with the oldest child in grade 4 being 11 years old. Those in kindergarten are around 4 years old, and those who live far away have to walk 2 to 3 hours to get to school. Most of the students' parents work outside the town, or the mother has left home after giving birth to her child. Many of these children are raised by their grandparents. In the morning, the children are asked to eat at home before coming to school. For a family in slightly good condition, they might have a snack for 50 cents or 1 yuan. In general, their expenses are close to nothing. Here is a boy with ice on his hair and eyebrows. This is the real look of the children in the mountainous areas of Guizhou who go to school in the winter. A local teacher also said that such cases are very common in the local rural schools. In rural primary schools, poverty is worse. This video was shot in Guizhou from an ethnic Miao village. It's a family with 6 children. The father goes to work out of town, the mother takes the eldest daughter to work in the field, and 5 small children are left at home. The home is simple and run down. It's December and the weather is relatively cold, but the children in the video are still wearing sandals. Although the Beijing authorities have announced publicly that China is out of poverty, the video shows that many people are still living in dire straits. Here is another rural family. It isn't known which province it's in, but based on the dry, cracked yellow soil, it's probably in the west of the country.
大家吃饭，过来，妈妈给你找鸡蛋吃了哈。好，过来，去吧。
This video shows the daily life of children in rural areas who are left behind by their parents. They all look very young, around 5 or 6 years old, 6 or 7 years old. They are living a life that isn't for their age. A young boy is carrying his younger brother. A small child is carrying a big basket full of potatoes. One child has a hoe, and a boy of about 4 years old is struggling to wash the clothes. When he looks up, you can see his most innocent smile. A little girl opens the lid of the pot and skillfully stirs the rice porridge with a ladle to serve the food. There are several other children. They are either working with adults or following the oxen as they struggle to pull the plow. One little girl is pulling a wooden cart full of firewood all by herself. A young boy is driving a tractor skillfully in a paddy field. At the end of the video, a young boy unloads bricks from the cart and puts them away neatly. It's heartbreaking to watch. This scene is common in rural China. Here is a video that was circulated on the Chinese language web in 2012. When a senior Chinese official visited the US, an American scholar asked, "I am 68 years old, I have traveled to 96 countries, and I don't understand your Chinese government. There are still 100 million people living below the poverty line in China, 900,000 children in the mountainous areas who have no schooling, and still 1.5 million beggars. How come you don't solve all these problems, but give out several $100 billion of support each year to foreign countries? Do you not consider the Chinese people human?" This is a video of poor children in Daliang Mountain, Guizhou Province, a province in western China. "How old are you, my little friend? How old are you?" 3 years old? Wow, you can carry your younger brother already. A 3 or 4-year-old girl and her siblings are weeding with hoes. On June 16, 2024, an ex-platform netizen posted, "Poverty has never left China. It's just that your footsteps don't go in that direction, and the circle you live in is small, just a few streets apart. When you travel the country, you will find out how the Chinese people really live and the living standard of the Chinese people. You'll lower your hostility towards Japan and the US. Look at what's under your feet and look around you." In this footage, a grandmother in her 80s carrying a large basket, holding a pheasant in her arms, wearing a very old and outdated cotton coat and pants, walking down the street with an expectant look on her face, it can be seen that she is hoping to sell the bird for a good price. Let's take a look at another scene. An old couple on crutches in the early hours of the morning carries vegetables on their backs to the market so they can get a good spot. The netizens have commented, "Where is the poverty alleviation assistance? The government has a minimum living allowance that is paid monthly." Others said, "What is a national disgrace? This is it." This is a video from China's Douyin. It's a voice that comes from mainland China. The China Red Cross and the Foundation for Poverty Alleviation have spent $300 million to provide nutritional assistance to 1 million children in Burma, and also to provide free breakfast and lunch to elementary school children in 7 countries, including Ethiopia, Uganda, Namibia, and Mongolia. It says that this can improve China's international influence and earn the respect of the international community, and it's a big country's commitment to help these countries achieve the goal of zero hunger. I would like to ask the leaders of these 2 foundations to answer one question. Have the children in the impoverished mountainous areas of Yunnan, Guizhou, and Sichuan in China been treated in this way? And have they been provided with free, nutritious breakfasts and lunches? Have these children achieved the goal of zero hunger? If not, then why do you spend over $2 billion on foreign children and let your own children go hungry? China Red Cross and Poverty Alleviation Foundation, your main source of funding should be donations from society, right? Our donations aren't made for you to show off. This man speaks the mind of many people when he says that the Beijing government would rather throw money around for the sake of looking good than actually help the needy in China, especially the children who are left behind in the countryside. This means that more and more Chinese people are realizing that although the factors leading to poverty in China are complex, in mainland China it is mainly due to the monopolization of economic resources by the CCP regime and the seizure of people's wealth by the rich and powerful. The only way to solve the problem of mass poverty in China is to overhaul the political and economic system of the CCP, and to open up the market and financial sector to create a fairer and more honest market environment for the poorer regions of China. But this is an impossible task for Beijing because the root of China's poverty problem lies in the CCP itself.